Good afternoon. I don't know what's going on with the music. Can you hear that? Good morning. Good morning. It is 1:16 on the East Coast, so it is afternoon. Yes, I woke up. I will explain. Just come on in. I know this is spare the moment, so it's gonna take a minute for me to be exposed out there that I'm live. But if you can, please share me so that they know that I am live. I didn't even call Sister Love or text her to let her know I'm going live, but I know my girl is busy um, attending to her first fruit, beautifying her new home. So, I know that, I don't want to put too much on her right now. She's into her kids. I'm definitely a person that is selfless. Um, so I do overstand when people are busy. So when I don't see them in the chats, because for the most part, people are in the bushes to feel the temperature of the chat to see where it's going. Because a lot has been going on the YouTube streets and in our personal lives. So I'm definitely one of the candidates for that. But yeah, I share a lot. I feel like my platform is designed to convince someone because just as if I sometimes walk in doubt, I know there are others that do struggle with the same thing, and I feel that we all can learn from one another just by sharing our stories of what we've been through in our lifetime, even up to the present. Um, I'm very vocal when it comes to my testimony, and people may take it as me telling my business, and I'm just telling my life story. Um, I've learned a lot in life, but especially these last couple of years, being introduced to a new way of networking with people. Some of us have became friends. Um, some of us became enemies, and some of us just walked away and you know went ahead with life. Um, it's like that in the real world. So friendships can be formed on the internet, even from the distance. It's like a blind date. You get to know someone um, by voice instead of by face. It's like a pre-screen of being in my life. But I'm grateful. I am so honored that he has picked me to come out, even in my doubt, to have the courage to speak on the things that I've experienced and the things that I'm currently, experiencing. And a lot of it is definitely spiritual. So I've been like Diana Ross, coming out and just letting God just do what He's gonna do in my life. I don't get everything right. I don't walk around here like Mother Teresa, because I'm far from it. I'm just a willing vessel to meet God where I stand and to be willing to be used for His good. The greater is Him that's in me. The greater in Him is in. I don't know how you say it, but you get what I'm saying. So since it's 6 minutes in, I can start talking. I got at least Josh here and whomever may touch this live later on to just listen. I pray that it encourages you in such a way as I feel right now, encouraged, and I'm feeling loved right now. Just bear with me. Um, Everyone knows that I had issues with my neighbor. We did not always. First of all, we didn't start as enemies. Okay. And I don't consider her my enemy. I consider her my lesson, because not only did it bring out who she really was, and also it showed me to listen to that inner voice that tells you that something's not right. um Now I know what to look out for, you know what I'm saying. I knew, despite of how I have been feeling for almost 2 years with the back and forth with this young lady. um I knew that something great was going to come out of it, not only for me but for her too, because honestly I pop a lot of shit when I'm upset. I say a lot of things that um is how I felt at the moment, but for the most part, it's not how I really feel. Because before it became bad, we did spend time with one another so that we can get to know who we are. Um, I don't get all my ducks, whatever how you want to say it. I don't get everything right. I don't. I could sometimes become a effed up person, especially when I get into that selfish mode, which I'm still working on. Remember, I'm in the transition right now. I ain't too far removed. I had posted Pastor Keon's short yesterday, and he was indicating that. I was like, that explains my story. But anyway, we didn't always start bad. I did form some type of relationship with her son. At that time, he was 3. Now he's 8. It was 5 years later. Five, yeah, he's gonna be 8 or 9. So I kind of, a friendship, associateship, you know, and I know, there were a lot of things that we shared about us. So the reason why I didn't go all out to even to a point to strike her, because that would have been it. I knew that this, whatever I was going through, was bigger than the situation. It was bigger. It was bigger. Something needed to be brought out, not only with her, but for me too. You know what I'm saying? Things um, that I knew that I had, but with the lessons that I'm learning, he's showing me. Look, I'm showing you signs of certain things to avoid and stuff like that. But you just one hard-headed little girl, um, and sometimes that's my lessons, what I have to experience. But a good thing came out of it. I got to know the things that I needed to work on, whether it's through situations that I got myself into or a situation that was brought to me. Whichever way it came back, it was definitely, definitely, definitely a freaking lesson. And it showed a lot about Maritza. So, with this walk that I am on, this spiritual walk, um, God has been just revealing Maritza to me. And I'm able to still be here to say, you know what, I don't even like that. Let me try to change it up. Let me start tomorrow. Let me start right now by just being different. And sometimes I don't do it all the time because again, we're left with some sort of residue of our past. So all the little things that just doesn't go away overnight because it accumulated years and a lifetime. So yeah, it was not always bad, but a year in being in Charlotte, I started to feel different. Um, I became real cool with the neighbors that lived down from us when they used to live there. They were young. They were around my kids' age. So it was like with this young lady that I've grown close to. It wasn't because of a race issue, because my best friend is Caucasian, and I was never brought up that way. I'm Puerto Rican, so I met black people. I met other Hispanic people because we are from different parts of the world. Um, Caucasians, even in the project. So I love people. I don't see people as a color. If you're good to me, I am good to you. If you're loyal to me, I'm extra loyal to you. I may not say everything right. Sometimes I may say something, but like, what the hell is wrong with you? The fuck is your problem? And when you able to do that to me, and me looking at you, and I say something out the way to make you laugh, that's whatever. But anyway, I've started noticing that before court, that she's springtime coming because that's her thing, her flowers and stuff like that. She started to straighten up the backyard. So I'm like just watching. I'm like, something's up with her. I know she's been inquiring for her house before we stopped speaking. So maybe she's really trying to sell the house now. And next, I'm like, this girl is just being clean. Maybe it's the words that I was using when I was telling her ass off. Maybe she saw a sign. Maybe she learned a lesson to clean up, to make sure her house is clean. Or it's going to be out there in them damn streets. And I, I promise you, I had to ask God for forgiveness for that. Because I don't like going from zero to 1,000. But there's certain things that will pluck that last nerve. Could skip all the nerves and just go straight to the last one. And things that I don't tolerate. I don't. I don't. I don't. Um, I've learned a lot about people. Um, I spent, damn near all my life fighting for some type of attention because I was broken and unhealed. I was looking towards people for validation. And I knew in order for me to really get to a place where I'm listening to me and God and applying these necessary changes, for one, to be used for His glory, and for two, to get into the gates of heaven. Because I don't know about nobody else, but although I ain't perfect and I still do things that God be shaking His head, and we're gonna be doing things to the end, and not saying that I'm not gonna make an effort to apply some changes, but when you know what you know, and it becomes a little too much, you know, I'm learning how to hand things back to God and just move like everything is good. And that's how I cope with things today. So, but yeah, things went sour. My man started, to feel a certain way towards them, and I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say that I had this discussion with my sister in Christ. I could be naive. I could look past things. The signs could be right there. Things could be said, and I just go forward and just end up getting um, the short end of the stick. and then I end up wounded, hurt again, um, feeling away, and I don't want to be like that. You know, what I'm saying where I'm just like feeling defeated because that's how I felt. But anyway, um, things started to happen with them too. I tried to be the medium. I tried to be different than I usually would be. In when I used to live in New York, I tried to approach this young lady um, in God and everything, and just it just wasn't working. You know, things were being said behind the scenes. I felt that. Um, Things were getting back to my man, you know, and I wish they hadn't because he's another Gemini that's hot headed. He's the me that's in New York. He switch roles because my man is normally quiet. He's quiet. He's quiet for a reason. So don't look at him and think you got one up on him because he already 9 times out of 10 that ninja already know. You know, and I appreciate him and who he is in my life because he is my balance. He is the one that I can talk to and just be me. He knows me inward. So, and me, you know, trying to be the medium, you know, he felt the way and stuff like that. But then, you know, at the same time, he knows my heart. So he knew that I was just trying to do the right thing by being an olive branch to bring some sort of peace, whether people know it or not. So, um, things didn't work out. And the last straw was when I see her step over me and say something to my long guy. Here's the thing. I say respect is met with respect. Disrespect is met with disrespect. There's no in between with me. Either I'm gonna respect you, even if we ain't gotta see eye to eye. I know how to coexist humbly. You know what I'm saying? Not in no negative way to shed anything negative towards anyone. We all have a season. We all have a jewel or two to drop in people's life. Um, and some things, you know, God be telling us to move forward. But when we don't want to move forward and do our own thing, God kind of tests. But no, He kind of tends. He kind of what the hell I'm trying to say. Heck, I'm trying to say. Forget it. It just went. But anyway, um, so with this neighbor was history, and it didn't start off bad. It does the yelling and where it was going. Um, it wasn't always like that. So I took a lot of abuse from this woman, street abuse, because the way I was um, feeling like I was bowing out to this demon that she was carrying. I knew I couldn't. I knew I couldn't. I knew I had to fight, but in a different way. Um, and me arguing with somebody, I cannot argue. It does something to my pressure. It just throws my whole balance off. So, but yeah, so with all the things that I go through, went through with this young lady, no, not she wasn't 100% at fault. I have to take some sort of accountability in this situation to say I had a part to play. Um, because if I didn't respond, eventually it would have went. But just like the enemy, just like God knows that what triggers us and what will unite that fire in us, so does the enemy. So he will send these minions to send out these attacks to discourage us from our walk. And that's pretty much what it was. And you know, doing things different. God said the walk wasn't going to be easy, but he also indicated to us that it would be worth it. So that's what I held on to, despite of what I was showing. I was all over the place. I think this last couple of months really took a toll over me, and some people didn't understand, and some people are still here to thug it out with me because they overstand, because they know, um, be encouraged, needed some encouragement, you know. Um, so it's been tough, you know. My platform is designed for you to come in, have a seat, listen to as many stories that are shared on my platform, to be encouraged, to be inspired, that no matter what we may face in this life, um, to not lose sight on the prize and do not take your hands off of God. No matter in what condition you may be in, hold on. We are all a work in progress. We all got our shit with us. We all are carrying things that we shouldn't be even freaking carrying. For these last couple of months, God has been delivering messages after messages, and it all ended with Him saying, "Hand it back to me, daughter. Hand it back to me." But we sometimes get stubborn in our flesh, that we want to, not and stubborn in not a bad way, but in a way that we're going against God. Like, God, I got this. You know what I'm saying? And when I say go against God, is not listening to what He's trying to warn us from. You know, trying to prevent us from headaches, and we avoid every sign. He will even send people very close to you, to drop a gem in so many words. But anyway, yeah, so it got heated after the loan guy. Um, I knew seeing her and being next door to her was gonna be a little difficult. Um, but I know God was trying to teach me something. I come out here and talk about silence and gold, and sometimes I feel like it's not. Sometimes I feel like I need to lay a couple of hands on people. But is it worth it? What is it gonna make you feel at the end? You're gonna feel like you gave in to the enemy. And I'm not. I promise you. I was in this situation, asking God, like, God, what do you need me to see? What do you need me to see? Certain things that He would ask of me without warning, I would just do it, because I knew it was a reason that He was asking me to do it. But anyway, um, you know, it just didn't stop. It went from the long guy coming in too early, our music, and around Thanksgiving Eve, she decided to up it a notch, and thought that she was entitled to run across my property, whether I'm renting or owning, and disrespected me and rang my doorbell. Like, that was clear of a sign that she didn't care what was to come after that. A lot of things escalated. I had to slip up, got myself in a situation, which I know God is gonna handle it. He's handling it, and this young lady just wouldn't stop. No matter how much time I spent in the house, which I'm not. I've learned to enjoy my home. And if I do want to go out and do things, we go outside of where I live at. And the ratio of us bumping into people that lives around me is very dim. So every time you go out, sometimes you won't see the people you know. But over here it's like I only seeing everyone twice. If I don't see them around this area of where at the gas station is my new bodega, like they have it in New York. The little corner stores, which the Habibis is taking over. Uh, the Dominicans, you know what I'm talking about. Um, the 7-Eleven, that's my bodega. Yeah. We meet up there. We meet up at the vape store. Everybody like to vape, use vape, tobacco products, t-shirts, grinders, um, wraps, you name it. Juice. They even got juice in there. They even got herbal, natural stuff in there. They got incense. They got everything. So that's our little spot. You know what I'm saying in the country. So some of them I don't bump into them. Sometimes I don't go to that 7-Eleven, whatever. I go elsewhere. But anyway, so we don't. It is what it is. It started. But this girl just started just going on and on and on until I had to make my first court appearance for her mother. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna put this 50C in because it's gonna indicate whether the decision was denied or was gonna be brought into court for mediation. I knew I had to do something to show that I made an effort by doing it civil because it wasn't going nowhere by us yelling. Just being an adult in this situation, I don't want to sit there and argue with anyone. I said some really hateful shit to this girl. I know I hurt her, but she equally hurt me too. All I was asking for her was to stop. But the fact that she thought that we don't have family down here, she kind of took advantage of that too. Oh, they don't have nobody. We gonna do this. She don't know the rules, but she don't know who Maritza is. She don't know who D is. We're two Geminis that will think of a way to make a way. To prevent us from losing everything for a knucklehead that just don't know how to take rejection. You know, we are not tied to anyone. We could be cool today, but for me, I got a 1 year mark, and usually within the 1 year, you don't show me who you are, your intentions. I see things. I see things. I don't listen to them. I see the things and I don't listen to them. That's why God had to put me through some things so I can see it. What's up? What's up, legend? Good afternoon. Stop by. I'm just talking. I got some news. I'm going to get to it. I'm going to fast forward with this neighbor because this is beautiful. So during the process of all that, I was very angry. Coming into this new year, I remember saying that in this new year, God is going to continue to reveal and expose the people that serves you no purpose. I'm going to send you warnings. This year, I said, I'm going to come in and I'm not going to be naive. I'm going to take the info or whatever's dropped in front of me and I'm going to sit back and I'm going to watch. Be quick to be, what's this, what we say? Be quick to look, be quick to listen, and listen, I'm going to say it my way. Always keep your eyes open and hear everything. Because 9 times out of 10, in between, you are shown something. And if you don't sit back and watch it, and because whatever's there, whatever a person is carrying, is eventually gonna seep the hell out. It's gonna eventually start showing in the pattern, how they walk around, how they interact, how they handle situations, within that 1 year. So I've seen all that in this young lady, but I still, that naive person, it's like that naive person that give people fair chances because people has given me chances. That's how I don't. It works against me sometimes. It's just who I am. I try not to judge. Um, you know, if you have done nothing to me, you cool with me. But if I see something you doing to someone that you fairly as because even though we're in the internet, we bond. We form a brother and sisterhood, whether we be in each other's chat all the time or not. You're gonna always have love for certain people on this app, and that's a fact. And mine is I'm learning how to pick and choose who I rock with for real like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't say a lot because I'm learning not to put my opinion out there. I'm learning how not to tear nobody down or make fun of their appearance or just make fun of them, period. That's what was going on with me for these last 2 years. See, people don't understand. They quick to put past judgment and feel like you're acting away when you simply just sit back and use your brain to say, maybe they going through something. Because I am that person that thinks. I may be in my shit in the beginning, but and speak my shit, but I also have a heart and also understand that we are sometimes dealt with things that is still present. You know what I'm saying? The way we act and stuff like that. We are all in a transition. We all have an opportunity to choose our path. I get it. This, and I'm gonna refer this to YouTube. This YouTube was not all bad. It's not all bad. It's designed. And I heard this on one of the content creators live. With his co-host, she was like, "We are, how you say it? We all not gonna see out the same lens, man. If we gain a level of understanding that some people is just who they are, we ain't got nothing to prove. We all supposed to be networking, putting our brand out there, sharing our testimony, um, putting some sort of fun into the YouTube streets again. Just breaking down and you know, and I get it that sometimes we are forced to retaliate. And I'm not passing no judgment on y'all, neither on the ones that's over there as being the aggressor and starting shit. Um, we gotta stop it. I love the world. If you good to me, I'm good to you. I may not agree on everything that people does on this app, but I don't have a heaven and hell to put you in. And my cross is extremely heavy, so I'm gonna stick to what I need to stick to is my cross, and still walk in love, and encourage others to keep it pushing, because eventually something will freaking change. I am a living testimony. I don't give a damn what nobody say. I don't care. I am who I am because of the life I was dealt with. And I'm going to be 50 years old in June. A whole 50 cents. I'm going to be 50 cents. Half pint. That's half a century. I'm almost at 100. I don't what look, my bones are feeling it. But anyway, so, I was coming out because I use sometimes YouTube as an outlet, especially when I want to make it make sense and hear it. Shit, I need some encouragement too. Shit, I ain't even gonna lie. I sometimes need to hear something encourage me when I'm ready to nut the hell up. And I come out and was sharing the story because I knew there was a lesson not only for me, for anyone that comes in contact with me by them hearing this story and this testimony, because that's what it is. Um, so I went ahead after that court date. After that, and I knew I had to come back for the mother in April. I went ahead and did what I had to do. I had no clue what I was writing. I knew that I wanted to be as honest as possible because I feel it's the only way to be honest. Like, even though it probably will fuck me over, but when it comes to documenting shit like that, I don't like to accuse people of something if they're not really doing it. You know what I'm saying? I needed to stick to the script, which is what she was really doing. And probably a week and a half, I got an email stating that the temporary protective order um was denied because it wasn't it was not enough information, not enough documents. So they denied it. So I was like, damn, I'm trying. I'm like, God, like I'm speaking to y'all and sharing what I was really thinking and doing in this bathroom. I'm like, God, I'm trying everything. Why do I have to go through? You know, your daughter is 2 cheeseburgers away of smacking a pickle in somebody's face. Like, God, why are you not intervening? Like, at some point, I felt like it was that I deserve what I was going through for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? But of course, God was surrounding me with sending people to drop jewels. And let me just thank y'all. If you're still in my life, if you're not, thank you for whatever you needed to say or do or show me. Um, because it definitely wasn't bad. Or, the internet is not bad. Sometimes, like I said earlier in my life, people are just meant to drop jewels or to help us along the way and drop some wisdom on us, and I appreciate that because some people with this world and how life is, some people are very selfish. I'm sorry to say, but I've met some really good people that I consider family. Um, Even acquaintance became family. I don't know all of y'all, but y'all definitely hold a special place in my heart. But anyway, anyway, that was denied, and then also something told me to look on this email into the form that they had sent for the denial, and it was another court date for permanent stay away cause, which they wanted not to just say dismiss it, but obviously you know I had to go through some steps in order for me to be heard. So it was a court hearing to hear both sides, but also it was to indicate to her the, to take her hands off of me. Why? Because God says, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. Hold on. Oh, excuse me. But anyway, so fast forward, she got the awakening that she needed to get, and she was pissed. But I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to have to go that far, but I had to cover my tail because it was getting more intense. It was, I was feeling that any moment that I was gonna let loose. Thank God for them sisters that rode that wave for me to encourage me not to do it. I appreciate you. You know who you are. I appreciate y'all. Existing or non existent. I appreciate y'all. So yeah, so I started to notice little things with her around the house, how she was doing, how she was trying to be um, a little nicer or whatever. But I wasn't having it. I was not having it. You won't sleep on me. You got one time to show me, and that's the wrap. But so I start to notice different things. Of course, I'm spying on the camera, seeing different movement. I was paying attention because you're not supposed to let the enemy know that you're watching, but you're watching. Because the way things were going, that bitch was very sneaky. So I had to make sure and protect my home. I was like a lion, um, just watching over my home, just watching to make sure that I document everything because some people could be straight assholes and just would lie on you and say that you did this and this and that with no proof. I don't. The rules down here is just different anyway. So I started to notice that this lady was transporting like boxes and shit like that, cleaning her the garage that she had, which was so freaking junky. But she was throwing away stuff. She was giving away stuff. She was doing a lot. It was a lot of movement being done. What really was a sign was her yard. Her yard is usually disgusting, but for some reason, even the grass was telling me, "Your day is coming where you will be redeemed and free from all the BS. When you see what you're about to see, when you see this, you're gonna know God's hands was all in this." So this is what I went through in the past 3 years. I got depressed. My anxiety has started to kick up. I started to get to panic. Um, I started to be in my head much more. I started to act different. Um, I just started to just was trying to figure it out, like which way to go. Like when you be an attack out of nowhere, um, you're like all over the place mentally. So that's where I was at, and I knew I had to do something. I knew it. God says, "I gave you wisdom. You was born with wisdom. Use it, sister. Use it, daughter. You got the courts. These people are designed to put things in motion so that you can be heard. So you don't have to feel like you're powerless. We have the power." So I did just that. And it started to simmer down. But what I didn't know, is that God, in the midst of the storm, God was asking me, if you really want this girl out your life, I need you to pray for her sincerely. Me, pray for this girl that caused hell for the last 2 years, that has caused me stress, that has taken my peace. The spirit that this girl was carrying was far greater than this situation. It was meant to destroy me. And along the way, God says, I'm going to show you some things and some people. And you're going to know at the end that it was me. So fast forward, even my daughter-in-law was being nosy and seeing different signs, Her third eye was open, like, yeah, okay, we seeing changes. I'm watching you. And then yesterday she was like, they moving. I said, I know. She said, how you know? I said, just like how I knew you was pregnant. How I know you carrying my grandson. So she started laughing. So I come out and I'm like, okay, Lord, prepare me for the streets. Give me grace me, travel mercies and back. Just like give me peace until I get in the house. And when I went outside and I sat in my car, I saw something from the side. Like, I could see real good from the side. Something sticking on her by her mailbox. And it was a for sale sign. So I'm looking at my man. I'm like, yo, the witch is moving. Look at God. Look at God. Because here's the thing. As much as I can be a bitch, an ignorant one too at times, my heart is not set up that way. And even though she wasn't liked on my end and vice versa, I still pray for her. I still pray, show her the way. I still pray for God to bless her and her family with good health, with anything that she submits to Him to grant it to her. I also pray that whatever she was aiming, which was getting a new home, a bigger home for her and her family, that He granted it when He seen fit. See, if she would have got the house when we were speaking, 9 times out of 10, I wouldn't be here talking about this situation. I wouldn't have had no lesson to learn. You feel what I'm saying? So it was very necessary for me to go through this, and also my significant other to teach us, like, when you hand things over to God, that He would do a much better job than we will do, because we fuck up shit. I'm just being honest, because I know I ain't perfect. But yes, so now she is gone. I see the people that are inquiring about this home have little kids. Uh, it's a two-family home, but you can see like the different type of energy that I'm receiving. Um, I didn't wish ill on her. I don't care what she wishes on me and my man, because no weapon formed. You already know. So yeah, I'm sitting here and I just started crying and was like, God, I didn't know what I was gonna do if she would have stayed another day here. I would have popped goes the weasel. I was ready to pop, and I so did not want that for her. So he removed it. He removed it. So now I feel like a freaking weight was freaking lifted off my shoulders. And now I can see the bigger picture. I can see that everything serves its purpose, people, places, and things. Some people are meant to just pass by and drop a gem to you, and some people are meant to stay longevity or temporarily. And some people is just passing, hey, how you doing? Give you that good old energy. You feel me? So that's why I'm happy. Um, and that sign was like, I'm gonna be funny right now. Um, that sign was not just the ordinary for sale sign. I saw the image of God doing the jail pose. Like, didn't I tell you I got you? Hold tight. But you also see that mustard seed faith helped this too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying to say that we don't go through things for nothing because we're the target. We have a special calling on our life. The enemy is designed to distract us from our path. So he was sending these minions to send out these attacks. Along the way, we're going to find out who we are along finding out who these people are that calls themselves our friend, our sister. Not all are meant to stay. You're going to lose some along the way and you're going to gain a whole lot. The right people. And it's okay, you know? And not necessarily endings have to be so negative. You can't walk away and say, okay, we tried, it didn't work, and that's what it is. But anyway, I hope I encourage someone. Uh, please don't lose hope. Keep trusting in God, and keep listening to your discernment, that inner voice, your Holy Spirit, telling you what to do and what not to do. The Holy Spirit becomes your boss, very bossy. Listen to it, because 9 times out of 10, that's God speaking to your spirit. Okay, so on that note, I'm gonna go and enjoy the rest of my Saturday. I'm gonna get dressed because I need some cigarettes, and I think I'm gonna tell my man to get us some tequila, and we're gonna sit back there and we're gonna celebrate. Not only because of her new beginnings, we celebrated freedom. So now, what I've learned will not go in vain. I will continue to apply it to my life because it's going to be many more of my neighbor that may come my way. I just have to make sure Maritza controls Maritza and listen to when God is talking to my spirit. Listen and stop being naive. So, um, that is it. That is my story time. I felt like this was the best opportunity for one to share my story, to share the situation, how it started, and how God intervened and ended it by putting that for sale sign. I ain't got to see the script. Let me tell you something. I told my man we gonna go get one of his cigars. Well, he can have the cigar because I can still smoke. I ain't got no job. My job is to make sure this house is clean, to make sure that I take care of my man and he smell good because I got to make sure my man smell good when he leaves this house to go to work. He's a representation of his woman, right? So I got to make sure that the clothes is clean. Hey, Diva, what's up, baby girl? Happy Saturday, my love. But yeah, so, I'm about to be a grandmother. I don't know, for the ones that knew, I did share beginning of this year. No, the end of last year that my son and my daughter-in-law found out that she was 5 weeks pregnant. So it was fairly early into the pregnancy. We find out that she was carrying twins. I got super excited, and during that time, we was going through the back and forth with the mother, so it was a lot of fucking stress that was going on with me, and that. news was meant to break the ice, and it did just that, because the thought of us being grandparents and going out there cussing these people out, we gotta be grandparents. We gotta show them the restraint. We gotta be their teacher. I'm gonna be somebody's Gigi. I say Gigi. I, gang gang, gang gang. I should call myself gang gang, gang gang, gang gang, gangster granny. Get Gag Grand. Whatever the baby calls me, I'll be happy with that. But anyway, yeah, coming into the new year, I started. She was starting to show signs of miscarriage, and you know, that's what I was saying. Holy Spirit, activate! I had to put my armor of God and my war clothes on to pray that whatever His will is, let it be done to cover this young lady in the process, because losing a baby, no matter how early you are and no matter how far you are into the pregnancy, it's a hurtful feeling. It's a life. It's a part of you. But sometimes God has a timing for every. No, it's not sometimes. Stop saying that. All the time, God has a timing for stuff. A timing when we are born. A timing when we go. There's a timing for everything. So for deep inside me, I was like, if this baby's the due date is August 19th, this baby's gonna either be a Leo, or the possibilities of this baby gonna be a Leo or a Virgo. And Leos are not so bad, and neither is Virgos. Their Virgos are very feisty. Yeah, they're very, very strong. They're very strong. Loving people once you get to know them, but they have strong characters, and it takes it takes a real strong person to deal with a Virgo. Yes. So I just knew. I just knew. New Year's Eve, I was spent at home. I was stressed the fuck out, and she was rushed to the hospital, and she miscarried. Not only one baby, but two. I was hoping that one survived, but it's just when it's not meant, when it's not on God's timeline, it's not gonna go. And if you're a child of God, which we all are, if you believe in Him, we have to trust. We have to trust whatever we get ourselves into, or whatever we are into, that it's a timing. So I just knew that this baby was supposed to be born in this year, but not in August. So a month later of her miscarriage, I shared this dream that I had of me preparing a baby shower. And what alert me that was a baby shower was the arch of blue, white, and silver balloons going like a rainbow over, and a white and gold chair for the mother to sit in. When I looked, I'm like, well, who's the mother? Once I see my daughter-in-law with a flat stomach, I'm like, well, it ain't her. I don't hear no baby in my dream. I remember what my dream was. So one day, me and her was smoking a blunt, and I looked at, and I shared her my dream, and she looked at me. She said, "What do you think that means, Maritza?" Um, I said, "Well, I asked my supporters, and they said that it means new beginnings." I said, "You're getting ready to carry my grandson." I said, "If you're not pregnant right now." So she's looking at me. What I didn't know, the motherfuckers was trying. Once she got the, once her that whatever menstrual what she was having went, those are the fertile time. That's why it's good to wait for your 6-week checkup before you get pregnant. Them motherfuckers didn't wait, but they're grown. They pretty much grown, you know. And what is what it is. And little by little, she started to say stuff. I said, "You got to start eating right." I said, "Are you taking your prenatal vitamins? Because they're good for us overall. Because it has a lot of vitamins in it." I said, "But if you're planning to have a baby to try again, I think you need to start strengthening your body by putting the things that you need, like vitamins, stuff like that, just to build strength." Um, 2 weeks ago, she was like, and this while I was still in New York. She shared that with me, so it was bittersweet. I was coming home the next day to news that I was gonna be a grandma again. I guess God said you was gonna always be a grandma. You just wasn't gonna be a grandma by the month of August. So yes, December 4th is the due date. Um, I'm excited. I am preparing. We already, we already as Gemini's like, okay, it ain't gonna be a 5-year plan or a year plan. It's gonna be a couple of months. So me as Mama Bear, I have been going through this house because we have another year in this house, and I have been disinfecting everything that I can touch. And I will continue until my grandbaby is home and even after. And we are going through this house, things we don't need in that garage. It's time to declutter, and not just only in the home, but with my life. Walking away from things that no longer serve purpose, whether they did something to me or not. If God is showing me something, I gotta listen. I gotta listen, and it's not in a bad way. If you gotta walk away and discontinue from me because what you have been instructed, then do what you gotta do. We all got our cross to carry. I won't be mad about it because I know once God showed me, I'm out. I'm out, and it does not mean that the person has done anything to me. It just when God shows you, um, that was it. Proceed forward. Bless them, whether they curse you out or not. Still pray for them. Always wish them well. Because remember, we all determine our karma, and our tongue is very powerful. You're going to speak life in a person, or you're going to speak death. How I've been showing everyone that I'm walking love, that's how I'm gonna walk with my enemies too. I'm still gonna pray for you anyway. I'm gonna still pray that God pours a blessing over your life. So much blessings that you begin to lose track of the blessing. I ain't that person to wish a person to get hit by a fucking bus because it may be me that get hit with the bus. So I am very, very careful on what I use. I don't wish any harm on my enemies. I wish them away, but in a beautiful way. And that's it, and that's all. So that was my story. That was my not only my story, that was my testimony because now it is the finale. And Maritza, be encouraged 617 has been shown today. April, what's today's date? Whatever today's date is, that I have passed the test and I survived. Look at God. Hold on to that um spiritual man that has been guiding us all this time. That's going to continue to show us what's right. That's going to continue to keep his hands over us and protect us and love on us and show us. And sometimes he may allow us to go through things, but it's just to build us. And look, the old Maritza would have been failed if she would have resulted in her flesh, because I would have beat the brakes off this girl from when she disrespected me and came in my face. And I chucked it up. I felt like a fucking punk, but I knew I feel a punk for the Lord because I know his way is the best. So if he's telling me not to say nothing, I had to try really freaking hard. It was really freaking hard. I slipped every now and then, maybe often, because I was tired. I had to, like Sister Love said, you got to speak to the enemy. That's not the physical, the spiritual, because you're not dealing with flesh, you're dealing with a spirit. So I had to really understand that. And in that season, God showed me. He showed me, try the spirit by the spirit, what it really meant. And I am honored, I am grateful to have survived a Karen. I do wish her well. I pray that she gets as much healing as I'm getting, because we all deserve it, whether we are connected or not. I am praying. I am praying constantly. And that's just being who I am, who I've always been. And no one can take that away from me. I don't give a damn what you say. Yeah, I'm loud. Huh, oh, I'm fake. I'm this. I don't give a fuck. My walk is in person, and anyone that receives it, I see you. Thank you for giving a sister a chance to getting to know me inward and not jumping the gun, assuming that I'm acting away when I shut down, because that's what I sometimes go through, a shutdown, just like everybody else do. When you consume a lot, especially, listening to YouTube, and I got my own personal situation with my family, and dealing with a neighbor from that, you know, that doesn't know how to deal with rejection. Is crazy, and it's consuming. I got sidetracked, I gotta admit. But anyway, I'm gonna say a quick prayer. Hopefully, once you hear this, you can just comment how you feel in the amen. To say that you touch and agree with my prayer. I appreciate the ones that made the effort to come out just to take time and be some sort of support, even on my live and even off my live, even with the like. Um, I ain't got beef with nobody. Love will always be love. Just know a sister was going through something, and I did not know which way it's gonna go. Felt like I was a target, but it was clearly a test for me to learn. And I don't regret nothing. I just take the lesson. So, Father God, I just want to thank you for making a way out of no way. Thank you for keeping me covered. Thank you for keeping anyone that I'm connected to covered. Thank you for providing healing. Thank you for providing strength. Thank you for providing new beginnings. You said, cast all our worries to you, and you would know what to do with it. God, we trusted you, even though it wasn't looking like it wasn't mathing, but we just appreciate the patience that you have given us, the strength to be patient, because it was very hard. And thank you for removing things that no longer serve purpose. Father God, I pray for my enemies. I pray that you show favor over their life, show healing, give them, protect them too. Because God, you are a father, so you are the man. So we're going to just say thank you. We just want to say thank you for what you're about to do, and thank you for what you already done. Thank you for your forgiveness. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Be a blessing, whether it's to yourself, whether it's to a stranger in the street. I'm big on that. If I have a couple of coins, I'm not the richest, but if I have a couple of quarters, I give them $1 if it adds up to $1. If it's 50 cents, I give what I got, because I know God is going to bless me with a lot. Feel what I'm saying? So keep being a blessing. Um, keep being a support with our fellow brothers and sisters on these YouTube streets. When you don't have anything to give during a spiritual fight. Don't give up on them. Continue to pray for who you support for, because when God puts that light in us, the God is not the only one that sees it. The enemy does too. So, just know, if you ain't got nothing shaking in your life, if you ain't got nothing going on, no attacks, no nothing, that means your ass ain't doing something right. So you better get cracking. Once you start seeing them damn demons start coming out of left and right, sideways, north, east, south, across the country, you know you doing something right. So don't lose faith. Again, don't keep your eye on God, and surround yourself with people that's gonna lift you and not give up on you. Y'all have a blessed Saturday, and I will see y'all next week. Till then, have a blessed one.